Okay. So, chapter 1 of the Bhagavad Gita, observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. I'm going to attempt to read the Sanskrit and where it says text 1. Drat Ashtra, Vaka, Dharma, Kestra, Kuru, Keksha, Samavata, Yuyu, Sattva, Yuyu, Sava, Mamaka, Padavas, Kavya, Kim, Arkavata, Sanjaya. Translation. Taras.
Dhritarashtra.
Wait, say it again.
Dhritarashtra. That's a, yeah.
Dhritarashtra. Okay. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after assembling in the place of pilgrimage at
Kurukshetra.
I've heard you guys say this, but I haven't said it. Say it again.
Kurukshetra.
Kurukshetra. What did my sons and sons of Pandu do, being desirous to fight? Bhagavad Gita is the widely read theistic science summarized in the Gita Mahatmya, glorification of the Gita. There it says that one should read Bhagavad Gita very scrutinizingly with the help of a person who is a devotee of Sri Krishna and try to understand it without personally motivated interpretations. The example of clear understanding is there in the Bhagavad Gita itself, in the way the teaching is understood by Arjuna, who heard the Gita directly from the Lord. If someone is fortunate enough to understand Bhagavad Gita in the line of dissection, without motivated interpretation, then he surpasses all the studies of Vedic wisdom and all the scriptures of the world. One will find in the Bhagavad Gita all that is contained in the other scriptures, but the reader will also find things which are not to be found elsewhere. That is the specific standard of the Gita. It is the perfect theistic science because it is directly spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. The topics discussed by Dhritarashtra and Sanjaya are described in the Mahabharata, form the basic principle of this great philosophy. It is understood that this philosophy evolved on the Battle of Kurukshetra, which is a sacred place of pilgrimage from the immemorial time of the Vedic age. It was spoken by the Lord when he was present personally on this planet for the guidance of mankind. The word Dharma, Kestra, a place where religious rituals are performed, is significant because on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead was present on the side of Arjuna. Dhritarashtra, the father of Kurus, was highly doubtful about the possibility of his son's ultimate victory. In his doubt, he inquired from his secretary Sanjaya, "What did my sons and his sons of Pandu do?" He was confident that both his sons and the sons of the younger brother Pandu were assembled in that field of Kurukshetra for a determined engagement of the war. Still, his inquiry is significant. He did not want to compromise between the cousins and brothers, and he wanted to be sure of the fate of his sons on the battlefield. Because the battle was arranged to be fought at Kurukshetra, which is mentioned elsewhere in the Vedas as a place of worship, even for the denizens of heavens, Dhritarashtra became very fearful about the influence of the holy place on the outcome of the battle. He knew very well that this would influence Arjuna and the sons of Pandu favorably because by nature they were all virtuous. Sanjaya was a student of Vyasa, and therefore, by the mercy of Vyasa, Sanjaya was able to envision the battlefield of Kurukshetra even while he was in the room of Dhritarashtra. And so Dhritarashtra asked him about the situation on the battlefield. Both the Pandavas and the sons of Dhritarashtra belonged to the same family, but Dhritarashtra's mind is disclosed herein. He deliberately claimed his claimed only his sons as Kurus, and he separated the sons of Pandu from the family heritage. One can thus understand the specific position of Dhritarashtra in his relationship with his nephews, the sons of Pandu. As in the paddy field, the unnecessary plants are taken out. So it is expected from the very beginning of these topics that in the religious field of Kurukshetra, where the father of religion Sri Krishna was present, the unwanted plants like Dhritarashtra's sons, Duryodhana, Duryodhana, and other
Duryodhana. Duryodhana. I've heard these names like a million times. Duryodhana.
Duryodhana and others would be wiped out, and thoroughly religious persons, headed by Yudhishthira,
Yudhishthira.
Yudhishthira,
You wouldn't even guess that's how it's pronounced.
Yudhishthira, would be established by the Lord. This is the significance of the words Dharmakestra and Kurukshetra, apart from the historical and Vedic importance. Okay, text 2. Sanjaya Vavaka Drishta tu Padavani Kam Vudam Duryodhanas Tata Akaryam Upan Sadganya Vaja Vakanam Abravit. Sanjaya said, O king, after looking after the army gathered by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhana went to the teacher and began to speak the following words. Dhritarashtra was blind from birth. Unfortunately, he was also bereft of spiritual vision. He knew very well that his sons were equally blind in the matter of religion, and he was sure that they could never reach an understanding with the Pandavas, who were all pious since birth. Still, he was doubtful about the influence of the place of pilgrimage, and Sanjaya could understand his motive in asking about the situation on the battlefield. He wanted, therefore, to encourage the despondent king and thus warned him that his sons were not going to make any sort of compromise under the influence of the holy place. Sanjaya therefore informed the king that his son Duryodhana, after seeing the military force of the Pandavas, at once went to the commander-in-chief, Dronacharya.
Dronacharya.
You
getting it.
To inform, I feel like we should all say these words together so that we all can learn to say them. To inform him of the real position. Although Duryodhana is mentioned as the king, he still has to go to the commander on account of the seriousness of the situation. He was therefore quite fit to be a politician, but Duryodhana's diplomatic veneer could not disguise the fear he felt when he saw the military arrangement of the Pandavas. Text 3. Hasyatyam Pandu Putranam Acharya Mahatim Kanam Vudyam Drupada Putrina Tava Sisyana Dimata. O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada. Duryodhana, a great diplomat, wanted to point out the defects of Dronacharya, the great Brahmana, commander-in-chief. Dronacharya had some political quarrel with King Drupada, the father of Draupadi, who was Adruna's wife. As a result of this quarrel, Drupada performed a great sacrifice by which he received the benediction of having a son who would be able to kill Dronacharya. Dronacharya knew this perfectly well, and yet as a liberal Brahmana, he did not hesitate to impart his military secrets when the son of Drupada, Drishtamyumna, was entrusted to him.
Can't help you with that one.
I think I got it. Drishtamyumna was entrusted to him for military education. Now on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Drishtamyumna took the side of the Pandavas, and it was he who arranged for their military phalanx. I don't know this word. Phalanx. 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 After having learned the art from Dronacharya. Duryodhana pointed out this mistake of Dronacharya so that he might be alert and uncompromising to the fight in the fighting. But this he wanted to point out that he should not be similarly lenient in the battle against the Pandavas, who were also Dronacharya's affectionate students. Arjuna, specifically, was his most affectionate and brilliant student. Duryodhana also warned that such leniency in the fight would lead to defeat.
But can you just pause for a minute?
Yeah.
So I'm having trouble figuring out who's on what side, who's on what side, are there sides? And when they talk about leniency and, they were talking about something that sounded like the sons might be too heavily influenced by the spiritual nature of the battleground. I'm sort of confused about the sides and who is who.
You have on one side the Pandavas, which is Arjun's family, and then on the other side you have the Kauravas.
But on the Pandavas side, isn't it like two sets of brothers' kids?
I got to get a family tree out.
I was just going to say we need a family tree of this.
Yeah, family tree would be good. And I agree that on the Pandavas side, I thought there was
two sets of brothers' children. That's what I'm understanding.
They're-
One brother.
Dhritarashtra. Oh, I can't even.
Right, the blind brother and the dead brother.
The blind brother and right.
And then the dead brother. Both their kids are on one side.
Right.
Dhritarashtra.
So, okay, they belong to the same family. They're on the same side.
But they have different lineage.
Was blind from birth, spiritually and physically. His kids were blind spiritually as well.
It's assumed, yeah.
The Pandavas did have some kind of spiritual awakening or something. So he's doubtful about the influence of the place of the pilgrimage, meaning the fact that the ground itself was sacred would influence how people fought. Is that true?
Yeah, because they would use these these magical things, magical chakras as weapons.
Doesn't that come later in the book?
I think so.
Yeah. I think it comes more apparent after we dig in a little bit more.
I have a family tree.
All right.
I never got past like page 100, but it gets a little more. I understand. I'm taking 2 classes at the same time.
Nice.
Yeah.
9:00 at night, I have the Bhakti Center chatting in my ear.
Oh, they're great. Who's leading it?
Do you want to know something? It was my first night last night. I fell asleep.
It was late.
Because I didn't have to work. This is my first day off in like 4 weeks. I'm actually home. So not to get off the subject, but I'm so excited to be awake right now. I'm going to try again tonight. I am going to go to work tonight and I am going to try at 9:00 tonight for the first time. But I did listen to it a little bit.
That's good. You probably absorbed it in your unconscious mind. That's all.
Even when you sing, I said to Pam yesterday, like I remember reading a lot of what you sang and read, as you're more of your singing voice than your reading voice. Your reading voice is much faster than I remember you speaking. So when I sat and listened to you sing, though, I was like, oh, I remember that. And
Me or Pam?
You, Amanda.
Oh, yeah, singing
in the introduction.
Anyway.
Yes, but I could hear your singing voice when I was reading, because I did try to read this once before.
Oh.
When we in 2017 when it was suggested to me. But I didn't dig into it like I am now.
Oh, I'm glad you're getting into it. And the Bhakti Center is great.
Can you move it a little bit up? Because there's the
Yeah,
blind.
so we got the Kurus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what they're talking, Bhishma's Bhishma is the grandfather.
Yeah.
And then this is the dead one that you're talking about, Michael. And
Right.
Vyasa is the
It's
author
true.
of the Vedas. Comes
Okay.
from up here.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And then you got Ambika,
Good.
Marupta, Pandu, Kunti, Dhritarashtra, who we're talking about, Vidura.
Dhritarashtra. Okay, so Dhritarashtra, wait, has,
So from Indra, we have the Pandavas. From over here, from Dhritarashtra, we have the Kauravas led by Duryodhana.
So that's really ultimately the other side.
Yeah.
Okay.
but there's
Yep.
Arjuna. For some reason, I thought Arjuna was the son of Dhritarashtra, but I'm wrong.
No,
He-
Dhritarashtra's the other side, I guess.
okay,
But
good.
he's an uncle, right? Does that make him an uncle?
Well, Dhritarashtra would be the uncle to Arjuna,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. Or was it Duryodhana was the uncle? They had a relationship in some capacity. I can't remember who would teach him. I think they just mentioned, right? He was like an expert in the art of war, and they taught Arjuna, and Arjuna excelled, which they'll get into.
Okay. Well, if you can send the link for this family tree, nothing like a
I'll put
family
it in the
tree.
chat.
I just took a screenshot of it.
Oh, but I'm on my laptop. I don't know how to do it.
Okay.
I know how to do that on my iPad, not on my laptop.
Okay.
Is
Okay, I
it
sent you a link.
You got it.
Thank you, thank you.
Can you get it from here? Or do you need me to email it to you, Sue?
Copy.
Did you send it via text?
It's in the chat.
It's a note chat.
Oh, in the chat. Yeah, I just need to copy it down and then well, it's easy to copy, so. All right, thank you very much. That was very helpful.
Yeah, I was like, we're gonna have to pull up a family tree. Do you want me to pause here, or do you guys, Sue, would it be helpful for you to say the names, a few of the names?
I could give it a shot, that's for sure.
Here, let me pull up the screen again. I feel like it'll be, if we say them, it's easier to remember for me.
Yeah, it's another sense experience of the whole thing, right?
I lost the.
I tagged you on Instagram in an account, Pam, where they read, well, they sing the shlokas.
Oh, okay.
If that's helpful, we can do that in the beginning, and it'll help give some context to the pronunciation. Or I'm sure there's a website where they have it too. At the Bhakti Center, are they singing? They're singing it before they give the.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm not allowed to sing.
You're not allowed to sing? What happened?
Eric,
Everyone
Kramer
should
will
sing.
howl.
yeah.
That was going on.
I keep trying to share my screen. I can't figure out. Okay. Yeah, my next life, I'm gonna come back as like a singer. It's amazing because in my car I have this beautiful voice. I sound like a mix of like Mariah and Whitney and all the great artists, and then I go in the world and it just squeaks.
You're so funny. It's the same in the shower, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kill Stevie Nicks. You should hear me.
I'm
It's
sure
not
it's
true
yeah,
though.
like it probably does it almost feels like it's meant to be sung, and it'll come out more beautiful because when you're reading them, it's very like boxy. All right, so let's go here. So you want to try to say just arsh. Now I'm gonna lose it. Dirt ashtra. Dirt ashtra.
Rashtra.
Dhritarashtra.
Dhritarashtra.
Yeah.
Dhritarashtra. Yeah, that missing vowel. Dhritarashtra.
Oh, Sue, you got it.
Well, I got it for right now. Try me tomorrow morning and we'll be right back. Dhritarashtra. I have to say, these may be hard to say, but man, are they beautiful.
Yeah, and they're not
Dhritarashtra.
once you get it, and then Duryodhana.
Let's see. Duryodhana.
Duryodhana.
Duryodhana. Duryodhana. Duryodhana.
And then
Dhritarashtra's son Duryodhana. Duryodhana.
and then Kurukshetra.
Kurukesha.
Say that again, please. Kuruksha.
Extra.
Kurukshatra.
Kurukshetra.
Kurukshetra.
Extra. All right. What? This one is
It's like
fighting.
we want to say all the letters, and then we say it, and it's like we don't have to hit every letter. It's like Kurukshetra.
Krukextra.
Yeah.
Krukextra. Krukextra. Okay.
And then,
Which sloka is this? 3?
yeah. Well, no, I scrolled up. We just finished sloka 3, I think.
Okay, so now we're on 4.
Yeah.
Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra, and then wow. Krukextra. Strischa Yamna. Took the side of the Padava.
I have the songs, if that's helpful. Can I play it?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so let me share if you take off the screen sharing, Pam. I think that'll help all of us because singing is easier to remember than.
Yep.
Oh, hold on. Did I do it wrong? Let me do it again. There we go. Share sound.
अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुयुत्सवः मामकाः पाण्डवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत सञ्जय.
Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra desiring to fight, what did they do?
So is that helpful?
Oh my, yes, this is amazing.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's do the second one we just did, right?
सञ्जय उवाच दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानेकम् व्यूढम् दुर्योधनस्तदा आचार्यमुपसङ्गम्य राजा वचनमब्रवीत्.
Sanjaya said, O king, after looking over the army arranged in military formation by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke the following words.
We got up to 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
पश्यैताम् पाण्डुपुत्राणाम् आचार्यमहतीम् च मो व्यूढां द्रुपदपुत्रेण तव शिष्येण धीमता.
O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada.
Yeah, so that will definitely be helpful. I'll play that as I read.
Yeah, we'll all learn Sanskrit now.
Oh, but it sounded, instead of like foreign words, it sounded like a beautiful flowing language. That was lovely.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Amanda, I was also looking for I can't remember what you call it, but like the intro song, the teacher prayer. I couldn't find it anywhere, but I was like, maybe I'm not searching for it correctly, because I don't want to say I can't, because I can, but I don't want to sing that each morning. But if I can find something to play, I'll play it for the group.
This is the one that Amanda was singing at the beginning of,
yeah.
Okay, yeah. That would be lovely too.
Because I think it sets the mood, don't you think, Sue?
Yeah, and like, absolutely, Pam. And like Amanda said last week, there's something about the vibrations of the words themselves that just, it clicks you into a different spot if you're really listening. For me, if I'm really listening.
I searched a little bit on Spotify and a little bit, but I'm like, well, it doesn't, you have to go crazy. If anyone comes across something like that,
Yeah.
or, we can ask people, or maybe Michaeline learns of something on her study.
Yeah.
Did they do Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya at the beginning?
I have
Michaeline?
to go back and look at all my notes, but I see you just scrolled up one that I think is the one you used, but
I have
to-
the Om Namo one, but that's not the same as this.
Oh, sometimes they chant that before the Gita.
Oh, I have that on Spotify, so if anything, I can just put that one on.
Okay.
well, they did Om Namo one before the program started.
And then they did the other one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it wasn't the
have it
same
from-
one.
Diva Pramel, Om Namo Bhagavate.
And it was a guy. It was a man. It was a manly voice, so it didn't sound like that. It could be a woman, but it sounded very deep. It sounded much deeper.
All right. Well, so let's pause here.
Thank you for doing all
I'll
that.
pay attention
Yeah,
tonight.
thank you, Amanda.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so you want to end your screen?
Oh, sorry.
All right. I know we had a little chat. If anyone has anything else to say before we move into breath work and meditation. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think like what Mike Lane said, like, so we've experienced this. It'll all come together.
One hopes, right? It will. Okay. And I appreciate everybody's efforts for clarity. I really do. Okay, I'm going to mute.
Okay, so let's find a comfortable shape that your spine is straight in, whether you're sitting up or laying down. Just taking a few breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Bring your right hand over to your face. Closing off the right nostril with your thumb. Inhale through your left. Close left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Just like that, moving a few more rounds on your own breath. Adding locks and retention if it's in your practice. When you feel ready, you'll exhale out through the left nostril and we'll set our timer. Bringing hands to heart. Namaste.